Hey everyone, Danny Greco, Keller Williams here, going to talk about October 2020 in the Seattle single family home market and talk a little bit beyond about that too. We're going to expand into King County as well because I like to talk about the different areas and see those trends that are actually a little different than what we're just seeing in Seattle. So as October 2020 ended, Seattle's median sale price dropped just a little bit to $800,000. Now that is still a 3% year-over-year increase from 2019, but it did drop $20,000 month over month. So still one of the top 4 or 5 figures the city has ever reached in terms of a median sale price. So still very strong, just inching a little bit down month over month. And again, that is just driven by low inventory, and we continue to be at only just over about a month of inventory citywide. Very, very low. When you get into areas like North Seattle and thereabouts, the inventory is even less. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens being at this low level of inventory already, and typically this being the time of year once we're past Halloween where we really don't see much more inventory come on the market. So what's that going to look like in January? Are we going to have half a month of inventory? What we will see what that looks like. But the area that took away the greatest amount of appreciation year over year, South Seattle, Beacon Hill, your Columbia City, those areas increased actually 19% year over year. So another just general Seattle statistic. So there's only about 3% less homes on the market in October of 2020 compared to last year. So just a fraction. That number we've seen kind of really dwindling down over the last months, where previous months it might have been 20%, 30% less inventory. Now we're basically about on par inventory levels compared to where we were at the end of 2019. So that's been pretty interesting. Now, the good part about that is buyer activity still remains pretty strong because there's about 16.5% more pending units and 41% more units that have sold. So despite there being just a smidge less of inventory, we're still selling a lot more, which indicates that buyer activity is still stronger than the available supply of inventory out there. So remembering those units for Seattle, I want to back out a bit, and we're going to take a little more macroscopic look at King County in general. Now, King County is actually at over 37% less houses on the market than this time last year. Still about 16% more homes going pending or under contract, and 36% more homes selling, but much fewer homes on the market once you get outside of Seattle, which is kind of interesting. And we kind of think, why might that be? Maybe it seems people more open to list their home and get out of Seattle than other areas. Maybe that's something worth talking about. The median single family price for a sale in King County jumped up to $745,000, and that was an almost 13% year over year increase. So we're really starting to see, at least in Seattle, things are really kind of coming to a halt in terms of appreciation and just the overall frenzy of the market. It really seems to be kind of starting to slow down and come to that halt, which is kind of typical for this time of year. But that doesn't seem to be the case when you really get outside of King County. So interesting on why that might be, and that's perhaps a discussion for another video. But we'll continue to see what happens at the end of Q4 here in the next couple months, and of course leading into 2021, what that's going to mean too. So stay tuned.